match of the night, match of the year. I mean, this match will be spectacular.
Yeah, this will be a really good match. The only question is who's coming out on top. Are we going to see a photo finish? And will Eddie Smooth walk out of Legacy victorious as the new Legacy Heavyweight Champion? Or is AR Fox going to hit the low main pain and retain the Legacy Championship? I don't know.
Yeah.
Another one I don't know. Jim, it's going to be a fun night, that's for sure.
It will be. Again, Facebook.com/Legacy starts here, or LegacyWrestling.com for your ticket information there. So tons, like TJ Mathis said, like we said, tons of options.
Oh, tons, absolutely.
For wrestling fans.
There's always a lot of options in Central Pennsylvania.
There is. This Saturday, of course, no different. You have ACW in the afternoon. You have Legacy in the afternoon, evening. You have the Mid-Penn Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame induction, which includes the meet and greets with Lex Luger and Nikita Koloff, the question and answer session, which will be led by Bill Apter. You have the great list of inductees, and then you have a concert and wrestling show after. So wherever you decide to go to one. Matt will be at Legacy. Myself and Ryan, we will be at the Mid-Penn Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So lots of exciting stuff here. Again, midpennwrestlingalliance.com, facebook.com/mid-penn-wrestling-alliance. So check all that out. Give them all a like. Give them all a follow. And we're going to take a break here and come back in the second hour. We're going to be talking Monday Night Raw. We're going to be talking about our time up at the SmackDown tapings, and then some other news items. So stay tuned on the other side. Again, 3 Count Thursday here on NGSCSports.com.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on NGSCSports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
This is Gigi from Tough Enough. Welcome back to 3 Count Thursday.
Welcome back to 3 Count Thursday here at NGSCSports.com. Ryan and Jim with you. Having a little bit of trouble with the phone system tonight, so we're not able to take calls tonight. As if you were in the last segment and heard Matt go full Decepticon on us, we do apologize for that. We'll try and get that figured out by the time we go live next week. But we went 1 week. I was thankful. Last week we were heading into Thanksgiving week, and we were very thankful that we went a week without any technical problems. This week, not the case, but we got through the interview with TJ Mathis. Again, thank you to him. If you follow us on our social media, Facebook.com/3 Count Thursday, Twitter and Instagram at 3 Count Thursday, you can catch all of TJ Mathis' social media sites there. Ryan, as always, Monday Night Raw this past Monday. They were really kind of in a tough spot. The past couple weeks have been very rough on the ratings side, and even the hardcore legend himself, WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley, saying that he was giving them one more chance. He was going to give them this past Monday's Raw to kind of as a test of faith to see if he would continue to be watching the WWE product. So I think I did see after the fact that he is that they at least did enough to keep him on. And but Ryan, before we kind of break down some of the segments that, we kind of highlighted, we're talking about. Overall, what did you think of Monday Night Raw this week?
I don't think it was as good as the Raw as everybody's talking it out to be. I think everybody's going a little soft on them. I think a lot of people were kind of lined up behind Mick Foley, like, yeah,
like
this
SAWFT.
No, like whatever you want to call it, soft. But yeah, sure, either one. I don't think it's that great of a situation that the WWE finds themselves in. We're going to talk about the SmackDown that we attended, which I'll let the cat out of the bag. Always a good time at the live WWE event. Not that great of a show. Maybe the worst SmackDown taping we've ever been to, storyline-wise and progression-wise. Obviously, a lot of that has to go with the sci-fi, the SmackDown going off of sci-fi, and the WWE just not caring anymore on sci-fi, and then having a huge show in 2 or 3 weeks when it goes on the USA Network, and really trying to draw people to the USA Network where they're going to have all of their shows, the flagship show Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously get to the SmackDown, but
it wasn't a great show.
It was SmackDown.
It was worse than just a SmackDown.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch SmackDown. I mean, I had it on tonight just to. It's always neat to see the show that you were at live.
Sure, it was. I agree with you.
And really, I thought the crowd was pretty good.
I thought we were pretty good for a Hershey crowd.
For a SmackDown Hershey crowd, I mean, the upstairs was all
it's been tarped off the last few years, though.
So you just had the lower bowl and the floor, but I thought it was fairly loud, completely edited down.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't get to watch much of it.
It was like quiet as hell.
Uh-oh.
When it came across on TV. So,
well, that's what we get then. Then our house show that we're getting next in March is owed to us, apparently.
Yeah, listener Chase Merriman, who says he I don't know if he actually guaranteed, but he said he's very hopeful that Hershey will get a pay-per-view this year. I'm gonna hold my breath.
Okay, well, they put some new screening in there. The new
video board,
the new video board, and
the ribbon lighting around
the ribbon is really, really nice.
Yeah, that looked really cool. I will say that from a TV perspective. I know the last couple times, the Giant Center, although the building is only 10, 12 years old, really was kind of showing its age. But now, with the upgrades that they did, definitely looks a lot better on TV. So maybe we'll get a Raw, maybe we'll get a pay-per-view. But here's the thing I know. In the history of the WWE and Hershey, Pennsylvania, 2 pay-per-views. One of them was 20 years ago this month, and that was December 1995, In Your House Seasons Beatings. I think it was the third In Your House. Had the hog pen match, had a casket match. Great card. Probably the best In Your House pay-per-view there was. And then in September of 2003, they had an Unforgiven that you and I think were at together.
Okay, yeah, we went to that.
Those are the only 2 pay-per-views Hershey's ever had. So it's been 20 years since the first and 12 years since the second one. Definitely not going to hold my breath on getting a pay-per-view. But Raw, I guess, is in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I would think Raw's up there for us. There's a chance for Raw. I'd hope there's a chance for Raw at least.
I certainly hope so.
Here's the deal, Jim. Let's talk about this Raw here.
Yeah.
And Mick Foley, I think he pointed out 3 things when he said, you know what, I am going to stick around. 3 of the things that Foley, I think, pointed out. And again, I don't have it right in front of me. One was the Becky Lynch-Charlotte match.
Okay.
That Charlotte with a little bit of a dirty finish, giving Becky Lynch a little bit of character. Something with Becky Lynch is a good thing. I think that's what Foley was trying to get. Hey, we're using Becky Lynch now. That's a good thing. That Sasha came out to her own theme music and not the Team Bad generic theme music or Naomi's music, I guess it was. She came out as Sasha Banks and was allowed to be the persona of the boss. And the formation of the League of Nations was the other thing that Mick Foley said that, hey, this is something different that we can bite into. I feel I'm just not a fan of the League of Nations, and here's my reasoning why. You have wrestlers that unfortunately has never really sold a lot to me. I've never been a big Del Rio fan. I've said that from the get-go. Sheamus is Sheamus. And then you stick Rusev in there, who I like, but should stand alone on himself. Rusev should just be Rusev. Like, I don't think he needs that. And who's the other guy in there?
It's Barrett, Rusev.
And Barrett. And I don't think Barrett is as much of a draw right now. So you have these guys that should be able to be monster heels on their own that really aren't doing a great job.
Well, yeah, but Ryan, the four horsemen, every one of them could have stood on their own. And they were the four horsemen. The guys in DX, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they could have stood on their own.
Okay, which one of these is Ric Flair?
I'm not saying that one of these guys is Ric Flair. All I'm saying, you're saying they can stand on their own.
No, I'm not saying they can stand on their own. They should be able to stand on their own.
Okay.
Barrett's tried it, isn't very successful.
So why not get a little strength in numbers and make something that you haven't been able to do so far?
Anything for ratings, I guess.
Well, I mean, I believe it worked. I think ratings were up, which we'll get to that.
Were they?
They were a little bit.
Oh.
I like the League of Nations, and I know you're just going to claim it's just because of my...
Because you're a heel guy. It's
I am a heel guy.
The only reason you like
That's not the only reason.
The only reason you like Del Rio.
That, and he's great in the ring, and he was great on the mic when he's not in this current run because of this Mex America bullcrap.
Oh, that's done, I think.
Thank God. Honestly, if that goes away and they don't even tell us what happened to it, I don't care. Usually, close up a storyline, whatever. If they just kind of make this whole Mex America thing and Zeb Coulter just disappear and they don't tell us where it went, I'm not going to ask.
I was fine with Coulter just being used the very first night to introduce him back to the roster,
right?
And then never bring him back out.
That was great. And then I just the Mex America thing, I just didn't understand taking a guy who is a good talker and giving him somebody to talk for him. That didn't make sense. The reason that it was smart that you put the idea that was smart by putting Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman was because Curtis Axel was terrible on the mic.
Correct.
I mean that whole. I mean, yes, he won an Intercontinental title, but it didn't pan out for him. The reason you have Paul Heyman with Brock Lesnar is because Brock's not the best talker in front of a live audience. Those sit down UFC style promo interviews, those he's very believable in.
Right.
But in front of a live crowd, you give him more than a couple things to say, and it just doesn't do it. So, but I do like the League of Nations thing because it gives all of the guys, it gives the strength in numbers thing. And I'm not saying they're the Four Horsemen or DX or the NWO, but in all of those factions, there were people that were more than capable of standing on their own and being their own. But when you had the strength in numbers, you had the ability to dictate whatever you wanted and whatever you could do. And that's what they have here. And for Rusev and for Barrett especially, I think that's really good for them. Because call it them, call it booking, whatever the reason, things weren't working before. So I think this is a great opportunity, and I don't know that this is a long-term solution, or at least Sheamus as champion I don't think is a long-term solution.
I don't think anybody thinks that.
But for once, Ryan, they booked a champion strong on an episode of Raw. He comes out in a suit, he looks like, he looks different than this same old Sheamus. And I mean, I really thought that the whole thing worked. I really did. And I like the League of Nations. I like what they're doing.